Are your plant roots struggling beneath the surface, leaving you frustrated with lackluster growth and disappointing harvests? What if the solution to explosive root development was sitting in your recycling bin right now? I'm about to reveal a gardening method that combines ordinary cardboard with a powerful mineral to create root systems so robust and extensive that they'll completely transform how your plants grow. This isn't marketing hype. It's a scientifically backed approach that harnesses natural processes to give your garden an underground advantage that traditional methods simply can't match. Every thriving garden starts beneath the soil surface, where an intricate network of roots determines whether your plants will merely survive or truly flourish. You know, the challenge most gardeners face isn't what they can see above ground, it's actually the hidden struggle happening in the root zone. Compacted soil, poor nutrient availability, inadequate moisture retention, and limited organic matter all kinda conspire to restrict root development. When roots can't expand freely and efficiently, well, everything suffers. Nutrient uptake diminishes, drought stress increases, and plants become vulnerable to disease and environmental pressures. Traditional solutions like commercial root stimulants and expensive soil amendments might offer incremental improvements, but honestly, they rarely address the fundamental issue of creating an ideal underground environment where roots can truly explode with growth. The method I'm sharing today works because it tackles multiple limiting factors simultaneously while requiring minimal investment and effort. By combining two simple materials in a specific way, you create conditions that naturally encourage roots to proliferate at rates you wouldn't believe possible. The transformation happens within weeks, not months or seasons, and the benefits compound over time as your soil structure continues improving with each growing cycle. The secret mineral at the heart of this root revolution is rock dust, specifically basalt rock dust or glacial rock dust. Before you dismiss this as just another amendment, understand that rock dust contains over 70 trace minerals and elements that plants need for optimal growth, many of which have been depleted from agricultural soils through decades of intensive cultivation. Unlike soluble fertilizers that provide a quick hit of nutrients before leaching away, rock dust releases minerals slowly through natural weathering processes, creating a sustained-release nutrition system that feeds both plants and beneficial soil microorganisms. When you apply rock dust to your garden, you're essentially remineralizing the soil, restoring the diverse mineral profile that would naturally exist in healthy, undisturbed ecosystems. Plants don't just use nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, they require silicon for cell wall strength, calcium for cell division, magnesium for photosynthesis and honestly dozens of other elements in trace amounts. Rock dust provides this complete mineral spectrum, and when roots encounter this nutritional abundance, they respond by expanding aggressively to access these resources. Now here's where cardboard enters the picture, transforming a good amendment into an extraordinary growth catalyst. Plain corrugated cardboard, the kind from shipping boxes without glossy coatings or excessive inks, serves multiple crucial functions in this system. First, it acts as a weed barrier and moisture-retaining mulch layer, creating stable conditions for root development. Second, as it decomposes, cardboard becomes a food source for soil fungi, bacteria, and other decomposers, dramatically increasing biological activity in the root zone. Third, and most importantly, cardboard creates air pockets and channels as it breaks down, physically opening up compacted soil and giving roots pathways to expand through previously impenetrable areas. The synergy between cardboard and rock dust creates what soil scientists call the rhizosphere effect on steroids. The cardboard feeds microbial populations, which in turn break down the rock dust more rapidly, making minerals bioavailable to plants far faster than would occur naturally. Meanwhile, the fungal networks stimulated by decomposing cardboard form mycorrhizal associations with plant roots, extending their effective reach by hundreds of times. You're not just feeding plants, you're cultivating an entire underground ecosystem that works symbiotically to maximize root growth and function. Implementing this technique requires minimal preparation but, honestly, maximum attention to detail for optimal results. Start by sourcing clean corrugated cardboard boxes and make sure to avoid any with glossy coatings, colored inks, or labels that won't readily decompose. Remove all tape, spalbostark, arbaframin gakrudaud, staples, and non-paper materials, then flatten the boxes. Start by sourcing clean corrugated cardboard boxes just like before, and be sure to avoid any with glossy coatings, colored inks, or labels that won't readily decompose. Remove all tape, staples, and non-paper materials, then flatten the boxes. You don't need to shred the cardboard unless you're working with perennial beds where you want faster decomposition. Actually, larger sheets work better for annual vegetable gardens because they maintain structure longer. For the rock dust, you'll want to aim to source basalt or glacial rock dust from, garden centers or maybe online suppliers. The particle size really matters here. Look for products that have a range of particle sizes from fine dust to small granules, since this provides both immediate and long-term mineral release. You'll need about 2 to 3 pounds of rock dust for every 10 square feet of garden bed though. Honestly, you can adjust this depending on your soil's existing mineral content and just how intensely you plan to cultivate. The application method actually varies a bit depending on whether you're prepping new beds or amending existing ones. For new beds, you want to spread a generous layer of rock dust directly onto your prepared soil surface at the recommended rate, and then, thoroughly water it in to kickstart the weathering process. Lay cardboard sheets over the entire area, making sure to overlap the edges by at least 6 inches so weeds can't sneak through any gaps. Water the cardboard heavily until it's completely saturated and lies flat against the soil surface. For established beds, you'll want to carefully work some rock dust into the top few inches of soil around your existing plants, then lay cardboard sheets between rows or around the bases of your plants, cutting openings as needed for the stems that are already there. Timing this application strategically really maximizes the benefits. For annual vegetable gardens, it's best to apply the cardboard mineral combination in the fall, giving it several months to decompose before you plant in the spring. This way, microbial populations have time to colonize the cardboard and start breaking down the rock dust, creating just an ideal planting environment when you're ready to transplant seedlings. For perennial beds or orchards, a spring application works well, giving roots the entire growing season to expand into that enriched zone. You can also use this method mid-season around established plants, but you'll definitely see more dramatic results when roots have time to grow into the treated area. There are, several common mistakes that can really undermine this technique's effectiveness. Never use cardboard with plastic coatings, since those won't decompose and might introduce contaminants into your soil. Avoid applying rock dust in excessively thick layers, as this can temporarily lock up nitrogen while microorganisms work to break it down. So stick to the recommended rates and increase gradually over multiple seasons if you want. Don't let the cardboard dry out completely after installation, especially during the first few weeks because moisture is essential for kicking off decomposition and microbial activity. And finally, resist the temptation to dig or disturb the cardboard layer once it's installed. Just let nature do the work of incorporating it into your soil structure. The underground transformation this method creates, it really manifests in visible, measurable improvements throughout your entire garden. Within about 4 to 6 weeks of application, you'll notice your existing plants developing noticeably darker, more vibrant foliage, a clear sign of improved mineral nutrition. Plants that previously showed nutrient deficiencies, especially those needing trace minerals like iron or manganese, often resolve these issues without any extra intervention, since the rock dust makes these elements available. As root systems expand and strengthen, plants develop increased drought tolerance that, really becomes apparent during dry spells. The enhanced root mass lets plants access moisture from deeper soil layers, while the decomposing cardboard improves water retention in the upper root zone. This means you'll water less frequently while still maintaining better plant health, which is a pretty significant advantage in areas with water restrictions or during those increasingly common drought conditions. Perhaps most exciting for vegetable and fruit growers, this improved root system directly translates to increased yields. when plants can efficiently access nutrients and water through extensive, healthy root networks, they channel more energy into reproductive growth. Tomato plants produce more fruit, pepper plants set more pods, and fruit trees bear more abundantly. The quality improves too. Better mineral nutrition leads to more flavorful vegetables and fruits with enhanced nutritional profiles for your table. Long-term soil health improvements compound with each season you apply this method. The cardboard contributes organic matter that improves soil structure, creating better drainage in clay soils while improving water retention in sandy soils. As fungal populations flourish, they create glomalin, which is this sticky protein that binds soil particles into stable aggregates, improving both tilth and erosion resistance. You're literally building better soil with every application, reducing dependence on external inputs and creating a more resilient, self-sustaining garden ecosystem. The economic benefits make this approach accessible to every gardener, regardless of budget. A 50-pound bag of rock dust costs about $15 to $30 and covers several hundred square feet, providing minerals that last for multiple growing seasons. Plus, cardboard is often free from local businesses or your own recycling stream. Compare this to commercial root stimulants at $30 to $50 per gallon, which, honestly, must be reapplied regularly, and the value proposition becomes overwhelmingly clear. So, you're investing in long-term soil improvement rather than just going for those temporary fixes. The cardboard and rock dust method, it represents more than just another gardening technique. It's really a fundamental shift toward working with natural soil processes rather than against them. By feeding soil biology and providing complete mineral nutrition, you actually create conditions where plants can reach their full genetic potential. The beauty of this approach, honestly, lies in its simplicity and reliability. You don't need perfect timing, expensive equipment, or advanced knowledge to achieve some truly remarkable results. If you're feeling a bit unsure, just start small. Try treating a single bed or maybe just a few perennial plants. This way, you can actually see the transformation for yourself, firsthand. Once you see, the difference that strong root systems make in your plant's health and productivity, you'll probably want to expand this method throughout your entire garden. The materials are really accessible, the process is straightforward, and honestly, the results speak for themselves. Your plants will be stronger, more productive, and they'll need less intervention and maintenance all season long. So, I encourage you to give this technique a try, and hey, share your experiences in the comments below. What kinds of plants did you treat? How quickly did you start noticing changes? And what challenges or successes did you run into along the way? Your insights really help build our gardening community's collective knowledge. If you found this guide helpful, please consider subscribing to the Living Soil Lab for more innovative science-backed gardening methods that help you grow better while also building healthier soil. And, feel free to share this video with other gardeners who are ready to revolutionize their root zones and see just what their plants can really do. Together, we're cultivating not just gardens, but a deeper understanding of the living systems that make abundant growth possible.